Freaky, I could learn a lot from you, gotta come teach me. You a little hot, you a little sweet too. Sweet like Kelly, sweet like peach. I could tell you crazy, she kinda seen it on the plan, trying to see that shit. I know I get her cause I like that. She can lock it down, I can tell by how you see how you did, homeboy, so please take it. Good to have me on your side, I ain't saying that you this guy's talk, but I ain't. Hey. No. Seen how you did, homeboy, please take it easy on me. I don't wanna play no games, play no games. I don't wanna play no games, play no games.
Welcome to Love, Lies, and Lace Friends, where we do reactions, reviews, and commentary on the YouTube channels you love to watch. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notifications so you can be notified every time I go live. Hey guys, good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning to everyone. Bougie Gang, stand up. Go ahead and hit the like button for me if you don't mind. It's Tuesday, guys. Welcome. If you're new here, welcome to Love, Lies, and Lace Fronts, where we do reactions, reviews, and commentary on the YouTube channels you love to watch, guys. Welcome, guys. Lots is going on today. I don't want to say I'm unprepared this morning, but it's a little bit weird, guys. There's so much damn stuff going on. I could not even focus. If it was not like between the bridge that collapsed in Baltimore, damn Diddy taking off from the United States, seeing Justin and Christopher in damn handcuffs on yesterday. And then I was watching some body cam video of when they went over to Ruby Franke's house. First of all, I was watching the ring footage of when her son escaped out the window, emaciated, went to two houses. The second house he went to, the man broke down crying, and it broke my heart. The man was calling 911 to tell them that a boy came to his house who's emaciated, and the man broke down crying. That's how bad it was. He said the boy had tape around his legs, emaciated, hungry, thirsty. The boy rings the bell. The man's like, "Hello, can I help you?" And he's like, "I need two favors." And the man's like, "What is it?" And he said, "Can you please call the police?" And then he asked for food. I died, y'all. I did. It was awful. That woman is such a horrible person, and I'm so glad that she's gotten locked up. Ruby Franke was a YouTube mommy, and I don't know if sis was crazy to begin with, but sis was really abusing her kids. And it's one thing to hear about it, think about it, even speculate about it. But when you see the kids showed up. The boy could barely walk. He was so weak from not getting food. And when they went into the house, the body cam footage, girl, they were collecting damn shackles and ropes. The police officers had their paper bags where they collect evidence. Y'all, it was some damn shackles, ropes, and all kinds of shit. I don't blame that woman for not wanting, for just going ahead and taking a guilty plea, because they would have drug her. They would have drug her, which I'm sure they're still dragging her. She deserves to be drugged. These poor kids, the little girl looked like she was shell shocked. She was, I don't know if she was locked in a closet or she was just supposed to stay. Little sis was sitting in a dark room. They had to get several police officers to come talk to her. She wasn't, they they took all life out of this little girl to where she didn't want to talk. She didn't want to say anything. They finally got a lady in there to come, sit down and talk to her and tell her that they got help for her brother. Everything is okay. It was okay to come with them. They're there to help. They had to bring all kinds of, it was hard. It just breaks my heart, you guys. Like it's been a morning. Like I feel like I'm a little shell shocked right now between literally not having a warning of just clicking into my phone and like what's going on in the world, and see that damn bridge fall in the water, and I'm thinking to myself, oh my god, DC is so busy. Even though this was up in Baltimore is a pretty busy city, obviously, right? And any bridge, any one person could be on it. If one person is gone, that's devastating, right? But I was like, what? Are you kidding? To see that bridge just fall in the water like that, I'm thinking to myself, do you guys remember some years and years ago, this is over a decade, but in Minneapolis, right? Um I think it was like it was Minneapolis suburb. Anybody who lives up there will remember when that bridge just like fell apart. And our look, people, this was a shipping accident. So I'm sure this bridge would have been fine had it not been for the container ship. But there are people, they didn't make it. If whoever was on that bridge, but only by the grace of God are they alive. Okay. Um, Only by the grace of God, if they're alive. There were workers pouring concrete, you know, and there were workers, they were working on some technology. They could have been working on power. They could have been working on, they were doing some, if you've ever traveled I-95 or gone, you're in that area, up north and really in big cities, they do a lot of nighttime construction because that's the best time to do it. It's cool, especially in the summer. And also there's less traffic. So you can shut down the road, or you can shut down lanes and they can get the business done because during the day it's just almost impossible. It shuts down the city, right? Um, so there were workers on the bridge and there were people on the bridge. And it was like roughly 1 o'clock in the morning, and the Francis Scott Key Bridge. I've gone across that bridge maybe once or twice. I normally, when we go home to Jersey, um, all the years that I've lived here, I always take the Harbor Tunnel. So I don't take that bridge often, but immediately I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad. This is number one, it's bad, period. But I mean, it's just devastating. It makes my heart drop just thinking about it. Some of you guys who live in places where you don't really have to navigate a lot of bridges, tall bridges, high bridges. For me, there's enough anxiety. I mean, I grew up in right outside of New York City, so taking the George Washington Bridge was a common occurrence for us. There's just bridges everywhere where I grew up. Down here, not so much. Am I taking a bridge, like to that proportion? But it's very gosh. Another bridge that scares the shit out of me is the Delaware Bridge. When you're leaving Maryland, crossing to Delaware, and you're getting ready to be in New Jersey, that big Delaware Bridge scares me like crazy. Um, oh, I hate it for those people. I'm so sorry, guys. I don't even know. I'm not going to say we're not going to laugh today. Maybe we'll find a laugh before this is over, but there's not a whole lot to laugh at. Um, it's just too much. There's so much going on. Just the two stories I mentioned have me feeling sick today, just to be quite honest. Like seeing that bridge fall, oh, you never, it's, not to get super deep, but I'm just, it is what it is. You will never know. Death will come for you like the thief in the night. Okay. I I hate it for those people. Whoever perished in that bridge accident, I really feel bad for them. I mean, I just hope I it's awful. It really is. It's gut wrenching. Okay. Um then if that's not bad enough, Diddy gets off on his plane and takes off while his sons are being arrested. What man exits the chat when your two sons, there's helicopters over your house, and your two sons are in handcuffs with Homeland Security investigation? Girl, it wasn't even the FBI. It wasn't the LAPD. It wasn't Miami. It wasn't none of that. It was damn Homeland Security. HSI came for your ass. A whole new alphabet. Okay? When them alphabet boys come, oh, it's a mess. Your sons are sitting there in handcuffs and he's taking off on the Diddy plane. Diddy plane was in the air and sir is gone in the wind. Okay. Um, I'm like, what? What is really going on? Sir done took off. Then there's somebody, I don't know who that was. Some guy with a bunch of tattoos on his face. He's like, I live right next door. You need to tell him to stop bringing all that money. He said, there's bus loads. He said, bus loads of minors. He said, come through here around 3 o'clock in the morning. It gets wild. 3 o'clock in the morning, he brings bus loads of underage females. And I was like, what in the world? I mean, he's like, we live right next door. A guy in a Bentley with some damn girl. I'm like, my God, okay. But what broke my heart really was, I mean, it was shocking, but to see which Justin and Christian, I mean, I don't know, I'm just talking from a father-son standpoint. The boy, we don't know what the Combses and them have been up to. We don't know what the Combs have been up to. I thought it was funny that his house is in his record company's name and his one of his daughter's name. Okay. I thought that was interesting that the homes are not in his names. In his name, they're in companies, they're tied up. Um, not in his, I'm sure since he's been with the shits, he's probably made sure that his name is probably off of whatever he's trying to keep, because he knew he probably was advised to make those provisions. But just the fact that your sons are, it reminded me out of a scene of damn Empire. Lucius and the boys, even though there never was anything that really played out like that. Um he's out here quietly tippy-toeing out the country on his private jet, and the boys are over there getting arrested, who've their names, if you guys, so on Real Talk, and I think I shared it with you guys too that day, maybe in members. We read the last lawsuit, one of the last lawsuits. Um, and is it Rodney Jones? Um, we read the last lawsuit, and just the allegations, the freak off depictions, um, are staggering. The type of shenanigans that are going on. And if that's how you float your boat, do it with adults. You know what I'm saying? Um, but yeah, the uh the sexual harassment allegations were crazy. We knew he would run like Russell. Yeah, Russell. Can Russell even come back? I mean, I don't think there's anything saying Russell Simmons can't come back to the United States. I just think if he sticks his pinky toe back in the United States, he's subject to probably having lawsuits thrown at him. And also potentially, if people are coming for him, they can get at him anywhere because process servers will throw lawsuits at you at a in a restaurant, at the gym, in toilet stalls. No place is safe. Okay. So there are people trying to get at whatever they can get to get their if they feel that they have been wronged or um and it's just bad. Yeah, Kamora Lee Simmons has been Russell comes back. His Kamora said he will be arrested. Well, I mean, Kamora definitely was a young girl when they got together, and a lot of things were acceptable in the 80s and the 90s, or people turned a blind eye at. Um, People will blame young girls. Oh, she's fast, she's grown, or whatever. And sometimes, I don't know. I mean, people have to search their own. People have to soul search themselves on, I mean, things that you hear. I was listening to something just by chance the other day. Um, and I'm not picking on Trina, but Trina had a song, girl. She was talking about something about if she would have known better, she would have started at 10 or some mess about something. And I'm sure today she'd probably say, no, I wasn't really talking about that. I was talking about that. It's weird. You know what I mean? I think nowadays we're more aware of the things that are being said and careful to edit appropriately. We don't have to be politically correct all the time, but um and I mean, say it like you mean it. If that's what you mean to say, then I guess that's what it is, right? Yeah, Kimura was very young, and it's quietly not talked about because he married her. You know what I mean? I mean, but it wasn't a good idea for him to start dating her. And I mean, look, as quiet as I guess it's not going to be kept this morning. Um, there's a lot of, I mean, look into your own family tree when so and so got with so and so. Girl, somebody could have been 25 and somebody could have been all of 16 or 17. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real here. And once upon a time, since this is mostly ladies right now, but I'm sure there's some men in the bushes. Once upon a time, sis, and not so long ago in other parts of the world, even right now, as soon as you get your cycle, as soon as you are a woman, yeah, you can be married. And it's not a guarantee that they're gonna hook you up with someone who is in your same age range. That person could be a decade or two older than you, which is absolutely disgusting, but that shit happens. It's happening today. Somewhere in the world, there's a child bride. Let's be, if you want to talk, we're not going to get all into that topic, but it's true. Okay. Soon. So 14 in the 80s and the 90s, You know what I'm saying? In the days that it was socially acceptable to do a lot of things, it's, look at not to I know my jazzy life is like, what do I got to do with this topic? Look how Mom Dukes had Jasmine out there. Elvis Presley married Priscilla, 14 years old. And girl, remember who saw Coal Miner's Daughter? I know Loretta Lynn's probably like, how'd I get in this? Girl, did we all see Coal Miner's Daughter? That man had just came out the army, saw her, pretty little girl would be, would be beautiful woman one day. And went and asked for permission. And mom and dad, she liked him. I like him. Remember that? I love Doolittle. I will never forget that movie. Anybody who ever saw Coal Miner's Daughter, it's a wonderful movie. And Doolittle and Loretta Lynn had a very passionate love story, but it was very much abusive at the beginning. It was very much two kids married. Okay. She was definitely a minor child, marrying a grown ass man, and just the wedding night depiction in 2024, you need a trigger warning. Back in the 80s or the 90s, whenever that came out, I can't really remember because I was really young. Coal Miner's Daughter came out. Let me see. How old was I? I was old enough to think uh that's gonna hurt. Um, let me see, when was that? So the biography was in 1978 and the movie 1980. I was 10 years old. So I can't say I saw it when it came out. It could have been when it came to HBO. You know what I mean? Because that was the that was what was popping at the time for cable. Good morning to everyone. Um, I just remember that wedding. It wasn't really a sex scene as it was like a dark room, and he took her to a hotel, and her mom had given her a nightgown. And girl, grandma was 16. My grandmother was 16 when my great grandfather was 54-year-old widower. My great grandmother. Wow. And he got a 16-year-old. Wow. Yeah, I saw some of Aoki's lives. And he's got more, out of the girls. He's guys, they just took some trees out. Oh wow, it's so funny. They just if my husband's listening, babe, the stump remover people are here. They took some trees. They took the damn cherry trees out in our neighborhood, if you can believe it. They were all pink. I'm doing a quick change in topic. Um, there were some problems with some of these trees. Anyway, long story short, they cut all the trees down in the neighborhood um last week, and my husband was like, "What are they going to call the stump remover?" And yes, they did, dear, because the stump remover is right in front of the house right now. And I'm saying that because Portia, you just heard her bark. So it's going to be probably a barking ass day today because they're coming to take the stumps out. Anyway, I just remember that wedding night situation and it being one of those creaky bed type situations. And she was sad the next day. I think she was probably hurting. And he went, got a cup, bag of coffee. He went and got some coffees and like a bag of donuts and stuff like that. And I mean, Hollywood has let this be. I mean, and we're not going to just blame Hollywood because people write these movies, people produce, direct, and have fat bank accounts from this type of content. And let's be real, this is real. Sis is over here saying her great grandmother was 16. Um, and Sir was an experienced married man who lost his wife, and I'm assuming this. You're saying that that's when they got together, 54 and 16, and it's one of those at dinner parties with the family at Christmas. People laugh about, well, Grandma was 16 and Pop was 54. Y'all, it's the people have opened up their eyes. We're definitely more protective over our daughters now, and there's nothing cute about this situation. Yeah, 15. Yeah, I mean, and the world was a different time. Like, with all due respect to all of the very early young marriages, for some now, if Kamora Lee Simmons feels a way that she was AR'd, she was assaulted, and maybe her parents didn't know about it, and she wanted to feel grown, or she felt grown, or she wanted to be with this man and convinced herself that she loved. I don't know why she thinks he's going to be arrested. I don't know if he's going to be arrested for his relationship with her per se. I don't know if that's what she's talking about. He's going to be arrested if he comes back. Um, but I'm telling you, 2024, girl, um, it's some problems out here. People are being called to account for their wrongdoings. And what was this party boy fraternity? And I don't have anything against fraternities, but they used to say, this type of boys will be boys, anything goes, taking advantage of impressionable women, you know, type lifestyle is no longer acceptable. And I'm glad. I really am. Um, your mother was married at 16. She told me not to do it though. My mother was married at 16. She told me not to do it though. It's too young. It's too young. Everything done in the dark will come to the light. Yeah, it's really we don't laugh about it at all. I didn't know until I did an ancestor check. I never met him. And of course my parents and aunts and uncles knew but never told us. It's just one of those things that people, like I'm saying, maybe not laugh as in, or just talk and whisper about. Family is family is always going to be strange a little bit, just for the things that don't get talked about, the things that do get talked about, the things that are acceptable. We don't really know. I mean, they may have had a wonderful relationship, but who knows? I mean, it's quite possible your great grandmother grew to love him. Maybe it wasn't like a horrific situation. There's lots of arranged marriages that become wonderful things. I don't know. If it was a bad situation, then I what can we say? You know what I mean? We live and learn, and we're in a time today where that is no longer acceptable. But there are still creeps and weirdos running around that have fascinations with your young kids. And let me tell you something, you have to be very protective over your daughters. Um, and I hate to say even with family, but yes, even with family, because we hear horror stories. You turn a blind eye for a minute, you drop off to a sleepover, you trust people that those are your go to when you go out of town, whatever. I'm telling you, a lot of you moms out here, dads, families, whoever's taking care of children, you have to be so careful. So I'm not blaming any one particular person why a kid could be exploited or taken advantage of. It takes one time, and then you can change a mindset where someone thinks that you know what I mean. You can change a mindset. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's very scary to think about. It's hard to talk about because people feel like their toes are being stepped on because you might say something that resonates with someone, and start feeling some type of way. But at the end of the day, this stuff is coming up and out for a reason. Hopefully a season that we can all get through and be better on the other side of it. But it's coming up for a reason. If if our boy children deserve to be able to pursue the sports they want to, the colleges they want to, have the wives and lives or whatever that they want to, our girls deserve the same thing, to be able to have education, the happiness, the life that they want, and the spouse that they want, right? So if we're going to give that to the boys, i.e. the men, then the girls deserve to have that opportunity too. Um, and you know what I mean? I think that the past has developed, there's been a thirsty pick me culture for a very long time, because the word was is that you had to be married to have a life fulfilled. And I think that marriage is a wonderful thing. I do, but you don't have to be married. I'm a woman that got married in my 40s. Okay. I didn't get I had friends who got married very early. I have a friend who grew up here in the United States. We went to school together, everything. She is from an Indian background. When she was a year out of graduating from college, she might have been 20 or 21. She started going on trips to India. She's from a place called Bangalore, which I think is in the south of India. And she would start going home, and they were introducing her to families. She was basically doing her beautiful American, educated in America um tour to basically meet her husband. By the time she graduated from college, sis was leaving and going to get married. So she spent the previous year meeting different families, having different gentlemen writing her, getting to know her through the mail, going to India for Christmas. Girl, by graduation the following year, sis was married and has been married and very happy, loves her husband, has a beautiful family, all of that. So it worked out very well for her. But that was really an arranged marriage situation. She never really got to date her husband. She started getting some letters from a few guys. She zeroed in on one she liked. They would write back and forth. She went to spend the holidays at Christmas, got to know him better. And by, like I said, the following year, they were getting married. And that was it. And she was raised here. We went to elementary school together. We went to, any of you guys up in Jersey, Paramus Catholic, when it was still all girls. It was girls on one side, boys on the other. Now I don't even know if Paramus Catholic is still operating, but by the time my younger sister went there, who was 9 years younger than me, it was all integrated. So it went from Paramus Catholic girls and Paramus Catholic boys to just Paramus Catholic high school. But yeah, so that kind of stuff is, arranged marriages are real, child brides are still real, weirdos, looking at your daughter any type of way. Even, let's not forget, weirdos looking at your son any type of way. Let's not forget about the boys. Um, it's too much going on. But so yesterday, if you guys did not know and weren't watching the news, Diddy, Homeland Security investigations went to Diddy's house in Miami and Los Angeles and busted in and raided the house. They raided the house um, with militaristic type law enforcement came through. We don't know what they were looking for. Justin and Christian were in handcuffs. We don't know that they were detained longer than that, if they were released. But Misa Hilton Brim was pissed the last time something else happened with her son. Diddy better, like, these mamas, Kim is already gone. Quincy probably got a word. I don't know if Quincy got some stories to tell. Quincy pretty much keeps his mouth shut, which is I'll be sure is his father. But Diddy pretty much adopted him, and he's the brother to the twins. They have same mom, same dad. It's too much. Thank you, Kitten Zombie. It's too much. But they raided his house on Star Island, which is the exclusive. Any of you guys who've been to Miami, you've gone down um, to Biscayne, that area, you can see Star Island, and it's the beautiful enclave where all of the celebrities live. They raided his house on Star Island yesterday and his mansion in Los Angeles, and we're looking for evidence of human sex trafficking or human trafficking. I mean, I don't know where Young Miami fits into. I mean, there's just so much going on, you guys. It was absolutely like I could not even get my head together to even watch a video to be able to kiki this morning on some mommies of the YouTube streets. Like I said, the one mommy of the YouTube streets, girl. Let me see if I can show you this video. Then with the damn bridge collapsing, I was done. I was in such a mood. I could not even. Let me show you guys. This is still live, so I probably better not. I think this is a news channel, the Times and Sunday Times. It's it's unbelievable. I guess the fog is now rolling in. Let me let you see some of this. I don't know if you guys have not seen this yet. Um I don't even know if you want to see the police, the body cam footage of when they got over there to Ruby Franke's house. And just when I saw them picking up the shackles and the ropes on how they were, I mean, I'm going to be honest. This kid probably could have been, I'm not a doctor, obviously. This kid could have passed away. Some people are so dehydrated, hungry, and distressed and abused, he could have had a cardiac arrest or something. You know what I mean? Like, and then it would have been, well, we don't know what happened. So and so was cremated. I mean, all of the things that weirdo, abusive parents do to children to make the story disappear for them to not be guilty of what we know that they did. We just saw this happen down in Florida with Jen Soto. Jen Soto has a lot of explaining to do at what was going on with Madeline. You know what I mean? Like, guys, these stories, it's like too hard to ignore at this point. I mean, it's really, I'm all for a laugh, and you guys know that I love having a good time and kikiing it up with you guys, but there's just so much going on sometimes. It's just hard to damn ignore. So this is what happened to the Key Bridge, guys. It's awful. It's awful. I mean, I travel that area when coming from North Carolina, going up to New Jersey. Normally we take the harbor tunnels. There was a time in my life, I had gotten a little bit sick down here, and I've taken the Key Bridge a couple times. I'm gonna just put it like that. I took the Key Bridge a couple times. Um, and but I think mostly it's going to be your locals who take that bridge. It's a mile and a half bridge, and it is completely destroyed. It's destroyed. And there were people on the bridge, there were workers on the bridge, and there were cars on the bridge. It was 1:30 in the morning, but this area of the country is very much I'm talking about the harbor tunnel. Um, I've taken Lincoln and Holland, of course, but I lived in Bergen County, so we took GWB mostly, but my grandmother lived in Hoboken, so if we were, I mean, Holland and Lincoln for me was pretty much on occasion if we were down in that area, but I lived in Englewood, and I could damn near, like Sarah Palin, I could not see it from Englewood, obviously, but You go up Palisades Avenue high enough to the top of Palisades Avenue, which runs through Englewood. George, I lived right there by the George Washington Bridge, so we didn't take that as much. But I'm talking about Baltimore at this moment. Um, the Key Bridge is gone. A shipping container registered to Singapore, I think, was on its way to Sri Lanka, and somehow in the darkness ran into. So if you did not hear about this, this happened last night, or this early this morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. Um, a freight, I don't even know what you call this thing. It's a freight, it's one of those flat freight, like you see all of these shipping containers stacked 5 and 6 high, maybe more. Um, Registered to Singapore on its way to Sri Lanka, was leaving the port of Baltimore and ran into the Francis Scott Key Bridge, and it's gone. It's gone, guys. Devastating. Like I said, there were workers, there were people traversing the bridge, and here you can see it. It's gone. And the video of it falling, I can only just pray. Uh, they said the water's 50 feet deep. There is sonar of vehicles in the water. It's so sad, guys. It's really sad. Just imagine I mean, it's 1 o'clock at night on a Monday. People could be getting off late, second shift. People driving at night, truck drivers, God only knows. I mean, we don't know who was on the bridge, but the bridge um is it if I can find the footage, hold on. Oh, I know CNN has it, because I was on Instagram this morning and it was just like, what? I had to go. You know how when you see something happen, you got to go check like multiple sources because you just can't believe that you just saw what you saw? That's what happened to me this morning. I was like, what? Here's a close up. Wow, look how high stacked the shipping containers are. It's like, could they not see? Look, I mean, if you can see right here, that's one of the pillars holding up the bridge. I mean, they did basically a center strike to right almost about the middle of the bridge. I mean, were they going to even make it under the bridge with all them damn containers? The containers are stacked 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 deep. Look at all that. If anybody was on the front of the ship, they're dead. Any of the workers on the ship, they're gone. The bridge gone. It's awful, guys. Um That's the aerial view. And all of it on water, like just to make it even worse, right? Um, for the recovery. Just a second.
We have Kevin Cartwright, Director of Communications with the Baltimore City Fire Department, on the line. Kevin, please bring us up to date on the latest information.
Yes, good morning. Right now, we are here at Fort Armistead Park in the midst of and managing a mass casualty multi-agency incident here. As you know, approximately 1:30 this morning, a vessel traveling through the
No, G.
Patapsco River outbound collided with a column, causing a collapse of the key bridge. Unfortunately, we understand that there was many as up to 20 individuals who may be in the Patapsco River right now, as well as multiple vehicles.
Okay, so I'm sure the construction company probably had an idea of who they had out there. So as far as the workers are concerned, um, no, this happened actually in the United States. This happened in Baltimore, Maryland, at the port of Baltimore. Um, Port of Baltimore. It was a Singapore vessel. It's a Maersk Sealand vessel, I believe, or it was carrying goods. The freight company Maersk. And it was on its way to Sri Lanka. It was leaving the port of Baltimore. It ran into a pillar and it took down the entire bridge, as you can see. Um, let me. Uh, it's it's unbelievable. Like, it's just unbelievable. I was like, oh my God. Uh, uh, it, okay, just a second. Okay, that's the same video we just watched. You guys can watch this. I don't want to keep playing it over and over again. If you just missed it, just slide the bar back. You'll be able to see. Um, it hit one of the poles. It hit one of the pillars in the water that obviously grounds the bridge in the water, and it took the whole entire bridge. Sections of the bridge are still up, and thank God for the people that survived on the portions of the bridge that were able to continue to stand. I'm sure they expeditiously cleared the entire bridge because you never know what's going to happen. That bridge is obviously completely, there's no use of that bridge. I'm sure they're just trying to figure out what to do right now. I'm sure it's search and rescue. Um, it's just awful. It happened in the middle of the night, 1:30 in the morning. The barge, thank you to the person, um, left the port of Baltimore, and I don't know how they could possibly miss. But I mean, the vessel was loaded, but the captain's deck we could see is sitting up on high. Plus, they have sonar and all kinds of different things to tell them. Um, when they're navigating an area until they get out to the ocean. Then you're pretty much clear. But leaving out of a place like Baltimore or any of these other shipping channels, I would imagine you would and be exercising extreme caution navigating those waterways. And it's just amazing to me how something like this could happen. So obviously there's going to be tons of investigation and someone being able to tell us exactly what happened. Um, Girl, I hate the Delaware Bridge. If I tell you a bridge that gives me anxiety, I was talking about that when we first started. I hate it. I love the view because you can see, Delaware, you can see like the DuPont factories and all of that. It's very interesting vantage point and it sits up extremely high and it makes me very, very scared. I don't like it at all. The last time we went to New Jersey. We took last year, we took I-95, and that's the route that I've been taking for almost the 30 years that I've been living down here. Not 30 yet, but I'm in the 20s of living here. And we took I-95, and on the way home, we took a different route that took us on 77, which I don't know the other routes well enough. We just followed a particular way that took us through parts of Virginia. And so Pennsylvania into Virginia, and then, or like West Virginia, Virginia, maybe is what it was. I don't know, but it was so clear. It was not a lot of bridges. But the Delaware Bridge scares the shit out of me all the time. I don't like it. It gives me anxiety. And you know what other bridge scares the hell out of me too? None of the bridges in at home really scare me a lot, but it is that I don't like the Verrazano. It's very, very long. I don't like long, expansive bridges. So that's one thing. I don't like extremely high bridges because they make me scared. I've never thought about falling into the water, but thanks to today, that will be another fear to add to my bag of fears of bridges. But it's that bridge. I want to say, I don't want to say which one it is, but it's a very noisy. If you're in Brooklyn and you're going back into Manhattan, it's not the Brooklyn Bridge, but it's another bridge that makes a lot of noise. It's like zzz, and your car shakes. Any of my Brooklyn, New York people, I don't know if it's the Manhattan Bridge, but it's in Brooklyn. It goes from Manhattan to Brooklyn. It's not the Brooklyn Bridge, it's the other bridge. It's all metal. And when you go across it, your car vibrates and shakes. I hate that bridge. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. That bridge always scared me when we took that bridge. If you guys know what I'm talking about, let me see. Any of my New Yorkers, they'll know what I'm talking about. Is that the Williamsburg? It's the Manhattan Bridge. And your car goes. I hate that Williamsburg. Okay, I hate that bridge. Just because it activates a fear of heights in me. I don't like it. I love I will see. I grew up going across the George Washington Bridge, and that bridge is. I've walked across that bridge. I love that bridge. It's so beautiful. That bridge is home to me, but I'm sure it is. It is a high bridge. It's so beautiful at night. If one, and it's so funny for people from the tri-state area, it's the bridge talk because there's so many, right? That it shook me seeing that bridge fall um this morning going into Instagram. It was literally the first thing I saw this morning. And I was like, what? That scared the shit out of me. It really did. That was my heart goes out to any of the families, the workers, all of the people who because they're preparing for mass casualties. They don't know who was on the bridge. I'm sure people are waiting on people to come home that may not have known that people were on the bridge. Girl, that Delaware Bridge, we're not gonna even talk about that one. The Delaware Bridge is, I don't like it. It's so high up, it scares me. But I have a little bit of a fear of heights, so it's just me. Um, Not that it's unsafe or anything like that. It scares me. We have a man in the house. He was going to Canal Street for some pocketbooks. Who was going to Canal Street for some pocketbooks? I don't like bridges at all. Yeah. Okay, guys. So the Goethals Bridge doesn't bother me. Um it used to be really bad though, just to be honest. But for me, I'm not normally in that part of Jersey. So I used to see the Goethals Bridge a lot coming from Newark Airport, but where I'm from, like I wouldn't be on 95 taking the Goethals to like Hoboken or anything like that. For me, going to Hoboken or West New York, my grandmother and my aunt lived in Hoboken. And for us going to Hoboken, coming from Englewood, the only thing that I would do is get on basically River Road. We would go up and get on River Road and go through Edgewater and North Bergen and West New York and be in Hoboken in like 20, 25 minutes. I never took a highway to Hoboken. I never even really knew I could take a highway to Hoboken. My mom was not a highway driver. So it wasn't until I got a lot older that I realized, like, oh, I could have just taken like such and such to get to Hoboken. But I normally would go the way my mom would drive back in the day. Um, Francis Scott Key Bridge opened in 1977, expands 1.6 miles. Yeah, it's very sad, and prayers and for Baltimore, the people of Baltimore, the people who use that uh that bridge on a daily, and the people whose lives were lost um at 1:30 this morning. It's awful. It's awful. The bridge runs over Lake Pontchartrain and was severely damaged in Katrina. It was so damaged, it looked like a jigsaw puzzle. I feel like I remember that. You say the Tappan Zee is long and scary. Yeah, the Goethals, I feel like they've been working on the Goethals Bridge for a long, long time. There's a bridge between Tampa and St. Pete that's so long it scares me. Yeah, because these days you can't even think. It's the age of the unthinkable. There's a book called The Age of the Unthinkable. There are so many things that have happened in the last few decades to blow our minds. You can't we can't unthink about these things. We can't not be hurt by some of these things, this information that has seeped into our brains. Um It's the age of the unthinkable. Someone even said it in the chat that it looked direct. Obviously, it definitely was a direct hit, but maybe the word was used purposeful. I would hope, let's just hope and pray that this was an accident, because I don't know that, I'm not going to say that we can't withstand this type of situation. If it were the opposite of that, I don't even want to put it out there like that. But you have to, obviously the investigators are going to do what they need to do to um make the determination of why. So I'm sure all those people on the boat are going to be in a hotel and going to be under, I wouldn't say lock and key supervision, but they're going to rule out foul play before those people can get on planes and leave. Trust me, the people aren't going to just be checked and sent on their merry way. The captain is they're somewhere right now where they're not going to be able to leave the United States until they figure out in the next 48 to 72 hours that this was not some shenanigans. Okay. So rest assured, with everything that's going on, the people on that barge, on the vessel, um, I'm sure will be treated with respect. And once they figure out that this was some sort of accident, then the people who can leave, I'm sure will leave. And I'm sure the captain is going to have to stay put because captains don't leave their ships behind. So they're going to have to stay and be and make themselves available. I'm sure the officers or whomever, the folks in charge on that vessel will stay behind and the workers will probably be flown home at some point, but they won't be going nowhere anytime soon. They're going to be here. They're going to interview everybody and try and get to the bottom of it. So no worries on that. If somebody was trying to pull some shenanigans, um, you know, they'll be down to the bottom of it. The Coast Guard and all, and I'm sure Homeland Security, they're not too busy with Diddy to deploy other people. Our fire chief stated that they think no foul play thus far, praying for the city. This will be a toll personally and financially on the city. Absolutely. Um, yeah. hmm Absolutely. And I mean, just the East Coast, it's a fracture to the East Coast. Obviously, Baltimore, this is bad. And I feel so sorry for anybody, travelers, workers, people, the babies, I mean, this is bad. This is bad, 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 bad. But if something happens to one city, it happens to us all. We do, you know what I'm saying? Like Baltimore, we feel you out here. And if something happens in one city, it happens to all of us. You know what I mean? Because um this is bad news, This is bad news for everybody. Oh, oh, you guys, yeah, I couldn't really come on. I mean, there was so much bad stuff I saw this morning just off the rip in my morning kind of ritual of seeing, what's tea and just getting caught up from overnight that like I had to. The Ruby Franke video, I would like to show you guys. I mean, it's definitely a trigger warning. It's not visually, it's just crazy because seeing when they were the body cam footage I watched and seeing them bagging up the shackles and the ropes, that was it for me. That made my stomach, I almost felt like I wanted to throw up. Ruby Franke, I hope never gets out of jail. I'm going to be honest. That woman, and I hate to be one of those type of people who's like, there's so many people out here who want children, but I am going to say it. There's so many people who would love to have a child or would be happy to take in a child to care for. And this woman, low key, was slowly taking out, she was going to delete these kids. I promise you. And you guys know me. I'm not an alarmist. I don't put that type of stuff out here. I don't say that type of stuff loosely. I promise you, based on what I saw and what they were collecting in that house, how emaciated the boy was, the man who called 911 crying, seeing and hearing a grown man cry will break your heart. Hearing this man crying about the visual of seeing Ruby Franke's son, y'all, it gave me goosebumps. So she deserves to be where she is. It's no mistake. She really destroyed some of these children, or she really destroyed her children. And she was getting ready to delete those kids. And it would have just been another sad story of like one kid going or a couple of kids and them trying to make up some sort of excuse as to why it happened. Bad, just bad. NTSB will absolutely. Yeah, they're going to I'm sure, I'm not going to say the captain isn't, the people on that ship are collecting their items right now, and they are going to be escorted to some sort of hotel that will be under lockdown until they clear the people, and then they will take them, cuz I don't know if they have visas to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, these people were working on the vessel. They're filling up the ship. They probably get a little bit of time to stretch their legs, turn around, get on their boat, and go back to wherever the boat's going, right? Because we don't know who's driving the boats, right? Or who's driving this barge. They are going to go and do a takeover because I'm sure there's plenty of employees on there. They're going to go find like a Hampton Inn and clear it out. And Homeland Security is going to house these people for however long they need to until they can clear them. And then they're going to send them on a plane home. And the captain's going to have to stay here. The officers of the ship will stay here. That's basically what happens when something like that happens. When I seen the vault door in that room. Was that the room that the little girl was sitting in that was shook and she would not move? Let me see if it's on, because I might have been looking on my other on Real Talk. So it might not be in my history on Love Lies and Lace Friendship. But let me see. Did I drop I dropped the link. Okay. And there's a phone call. There's a series of phone calls. I might play them on Real Talk Bougie this morning. Ruby Franke and her husband, and her husband's like, you're talking on a recorded line, right? Y'all, we need to watch Carly Russell today. We need to watch, Ruby Franke. We need to watch the Carly Russell sentencing we didn't get to watch yet. We need to listen to the Ruby Franke phone calls. And let me see. And girl, whenever Diddy shows his face, girl, we gonna be on it. Maybe it is time. If you're in members here, or I don't know, let me see if I can edit some of that Diddy video when we read the allegations. I just don't, some of it is very graphic, and that's the reason why I did it in I don't even think I did it in members. I just did it in StreamYard. I'll share the link with the Diddy reading. Any of you guys want to watch it, I'll share it. It'll just be a StreamYard link, and we pretty much read we read a good half of it, of the allegations in one of the last lawsuits. If it's the last one, I'm not sure, because I mean his lawsuits seem to come out every damn day. Let me see. I hope it's going to transfer over because I watched it on my phone. Okay. Y'all. Okay, I'm just going to give you guys a trigger warning. Y'all, let me tell you something. Okay, just on a lighter note, there was a couple. Okay, we'll show. Do you want to show? You want to laugh for a second? There was a couple passed out on the beach I think it was Daytona, and there's no alcohol drinking on the beach. Anyone see this? The police like literally had to forcibly wake them up. They were like, "What's wrong?" Girl, they were like, "Where's your kids?" "Oh, they're in the ocean." The kids were missing. I don't even know what happened to the kids finally. The man woke up. You know how any of you guys who've been in this position where you're drunk, you fall asleep drunk, you still wake up drunk. Why did homie try to run off? And ma'am's back was totally sunburned. They fell asleep on the beach. Ma'am was sunburned. They were drunk. They didn't know where their kids were, and they were taking them into custody. Should I save? Maybe I'll save that for last. Okay, I'll save that for last. Girl, a mess. What got me this week, though, in the body cam footage was the girl who was trying to scam her way onto a cruise ship. That got me. Okay, let's guys, trigger warning. This is almost like a compilation of occurrences of what happened with Ruby Franke. So if you're sensitive to this, you might want to turn off. It's nothing super graphic, but it's just the depiction of what we heard about what was happening and this is what happened. Okay. hold on. Let me fix this. Hold on. Let me find a better setup. Okay. This should do it. So you guys can see everything. It was this bitch. Look at his legs. Look at his legs, y'all. So on August 30th, 2023, Ruby Franke's 12-year-old son escaped Jody Hildebrand Ivan's home seeking help from a neighbor. He was emaciated and had open wounds on his wrists and ankles. Police released this video and a cache of footage showing what happened next.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs. He's hungry and he's thirsty. Yeah, there's sores around him. I think there's a good chance he's been.
And he also has.
Oh, and he has it around his
wrist
ankles.
as well.
I mean, his wrists as well. Okay, this boy has been.
Needs immediate attention.
They live out in the desert.
I'll take more.
How did you get the ropes on you? Who did them? 184. Front door's off to the left.
Look at that. He got a damn AR-15, y'all. It looks like damn a video game. Do you see this? How he jumped off the damn truck?
Front door's off
Look
to
at
the
that.
left.
You don't ever want that to be your house. That's what it was looking like at Diddy's house yesterday too. They mean business when if they come to your house like that, sis, they mean business. They're standing on business. If Diddy had been home yesterday, he would have been arrested for sure because I mean
Open the door! Jody?
look at this front door.
You step out.
I have my turn.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not gonna step out of the
Step out of the
house.
house.
Step out of the house.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
We're just gonna
Come on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Wait a minute, how do you come in my house?
Right there.
Look, they go into my house.
You come in, buddy. I'm a police officer. Are you going for the union? Hey, you okay? Is this you in here? Where's your sister at? Contact one. You okay?
The little girl wouldn't even talk.
You doing okay? I'm not gonna hurt you. Promise. See this right here? It's a badge. It tells me I don't hurt people. I'm just here to make sure you're okay.
They have beat that little girl so bad and terrorized that little girl so bad she wouldn't even move. That's how these people, when they get your mind, that's it. They have her conditioned so bad. She didn't even, her instinct to jump into the arms of the law or the help, not forget about just the law, just help. Help is here. Sis is so conditioned in her mind. She's sitting there crisscross applesauce and did not even move when help arrived. That's how sad this situation was with these kids.
Yeah, I'll put this here, okay? Whenever you can eat. There you go. Whew. Thanks, yeah. You're more than welcome to eat. You can eat all you want to. That's on you.
Y'all, they had to send 3 officers in to talk to her. Sis was like, I'm not moving. And I don't blame her. Her mother, I mean, these kids were being tortured.
Are you scared?
Thank you, Nina.
What? We helped your brother. And we got him some help too. And that's what we want to do for you. If we want to get you some help too.
Welcome,
We are
Marquette.
safe. We will not hurt you, and we won't do anything to hurt you.
This broke my heart, guys. Look at her shoulders. Look at this. They're in the laundry room now. Look at this. The shackles, handcuffs, tied to ropes. They better not let this woman out of jail. I'm telling. Look at her. Look at her.
Do you want to talk to me about where you live or how many kids you have? I can wait all day. So it's up to you if you want to talk to us about what's going on. I'll wait till I have a lawyer. Okay.
Okay, so I just spoke, you can turn to face me. So I just spoke with Jody, but you both are under arrest right now for child abuse. And you'll have 2 counts of that, one for and one for okay? So the malnourishment, you guys are in direct custody of those kids. Okay, do you have any questions for me at this time? No questions? Okay, you can hop in.
She's a bitch. I'm sorry. She's a whole cold ass bitch. And I don't care how much therapy she gets in that jail. I promise you, there's nothing that's going to erase. Do you imagine? I mean, we've seen some bad stuff happen, but I'm telling you, the harm, forget about what we had to endure just watching this mess. These poor kids that will never, never, never be able to trust people as being betrayed by your mom and your dad. Even the dad, I don't know what the dad's responsible for, but if he had to turn a blind eye because he picked this bitch to marry and have kids with, and then allowed her to take his kids and move in with another crazy lady and torment these kids and abuse them and not feed them and beat them to damn death is horrible. Oh, Lori Val, I mean, that's just, girl. The Lori Vallow, that whole thing, and the little girl and the boy and those people. I was watching, I think it was on Netflix, that whole, there was like a whole kind of like a mini series or whatever about the whole Lori Vallow thing. It's just so disturbing. Um, these kids are still alive. You know, I hate it for Lori Vallow's children are dead. And they've transcended this earth and they don't have to deal with this trauma, but these kids are left behind and have to deal with this trauma of their mother, basically. There are some calls that she has with her husband. Let me see if I can find it real quick. It's long though. It's like a 30-minute call. I think I put it in save for later with her and her husband. Was that on here? It was on Law and Crime. I'll share the link with you guys, but it's like, my God. Her and Jody, they got I have to look up their sentences. I feel like it was like a 1 to 15. In Utah, I guess after a year, you get to get a review of your sentence and if you're eligible for parole or whatever. But I think she can go up to 15 on each count. and they will run consecutive. And then I think it was something else. So it's not concurrent. Concurrent is kind of when you can do everything all at once. It's consecutive. And I think it was 4 concurrent. No, 4. It was 4 basically back to back where it's going to have to where you'll have to do each sentence individually. So she could get up to 60 years. They could make her do the whole thing. And I mean, I hope that every year that she is eligible, this is my point, no matter how it flushes out. Um, I hope that her kids show up to every single probation, every single parole opportunity and speak with that parole board and make sure that that lady never gets out. Just awful. Absolutely awful. There's some phone calls posted with her husband. We might listen to them on Real Talk. Um, now, let me just put this right here and put that in my watch later. Okay. Um, it's crazy. She she's a manipulator. That's the one thing from these calls that I got out of it is that she's a manipulator. So this last thing I just want to show you guys real quick. I feel like I watched this whole entire thing, but maybe I missed that last little because they went into a whole nother story. I just wonder what happened to the kids. Where were the kids? I'm sure they're gonna say something, but it's like, what happened to the kids? Um Let me show you this. These people were drunk. Next time you think about having a couple of drinks on the beach, just remember this, and especially in Daytona, don't do it because alcohol is not legal on the beach, and they will come and arrest your ass and embarrass you.
A beach vacation went way wrong for this couple, arrested in Daytona Beach, when deputies say they found them passed out drunk in the sand and their kids nowhere to be found.
Who the f is gonna bond us out?
It happened on Saturday, March 16th, after the Volusia County Dispatch received an anonymous call reporting a couple passed out on the beach. Body camera video shows a sheriff's deputy approach the pair and try to wake them up.
What's up, guys? Sheriff's office. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. Hey, guys.
But the couple, later identified as Alicia Langley and Timothy Stevens, don't react.
Yep, time to wake up, guys.
For a second, there's movement when the couple groans, but still doesn't get up.
Hey! Hey! The sheriff's office! Wake up!
Finally, they do get up when sheriff's deputies inform them it's illegal to have alcohol on the beach.
Need to sit up! Come on, get up! Wake up! Welcome back! Sit up! Why can't have alcohol on the beach? You got ID? Do you have ID?
At first, it's chaotic when the couple looks for their
Look how
IDs.
sunburned she is. Like they must have been asleep for a long time. She's gonna regret that. Look how red she is.
Ask where their kids are.
Your ID or different one? Give him my ID or give him yours.
You guys have children with you?
Give him my ID or give him yours.
A deputy straight up asks Langley where her kids are, but she doesn't even reply.
Are they with you?
Hey, your kids with you?
Yes.
Where are they at?
Just imagine some of the mommies that we watch asleep after a long night of drinking Taylor Port. Okay. You see how much it took to, like, there's nothing wrong with having a couple of drinks or a glass of wine or whatever. 2 glasses of wine, even you're in your home, the house is locked down. But these people are out here getting sloppy ass day drunk on the beach, pass out, and the kids are nowhere to be found. I'm reading an article right now. A Georgia couple is now facing charges. Hold on. So this is them right here, right? A Georgia couple is now facing charges of child neglect after they were found intoxicated as they slept on the beach. Volusia County Sheriff's Office deputies found 27-year-old. I'll flip it back so you can have the visual. Volusia County Sheriff's Office deputies found 27-year-old Alicia Langley and her fiance, Timothy Stevens. So her kids out with this guy drunk on Saturday afternoon when they were abruptly woken up. Hey, the sheriff's office, wake up, yelled the sheriff's deputy on body cam video. When the couple woke up, they appeared to be unaware of their surroundings. Stephen gestured towards the ocean when he was asked about the location of his children. You don't, and that's, I mean, I don't know if those are his kids or not. You don't know where they are. Asked the deputy. It just boggles my mind that you would drive here, get obliterated, and now a 5 and 7-year-old wander off, expressed Sheriff Mike Chitwood. Deputies located the couple's 2 children swimming unsupervised in a pool at a nearby hotel. They're on the beach. How did the kids get into the hotel pool? A 5 and a 7-year-old, y'all. They could have been on their way. Damn, a creep they could have been off with a creep by now. Okay? Let me finish and let me continue read. Deputies located the couple's 2 children swimming unsupervised in a pool at a nearby hotel. If you don't want to be responsible for your children and that's what you want to do, then find someone to watch them and come on vacation without them, said one woman who was standing nearby. The situation took a turn when Stevens attempted to flee. Y'all, when you see this part when he tries to flee, it's so damn funny. The situation took a turn when Stevens attempted to flee from law enforcement, only to trip and fall, resulting in visible facial injuries. Deputies asked for an ambulance as Stevens was knocked unconscious when he face planted in the concrete. Both Langley and Stevens were arrested and charged with child neglect, a 3rd-degree felony. When we wonder what we see, why kids are, when we wonder what we see, why kids are the way they are, you got to take a step back and look at who's in charge, said Chitwood. And clearly, these 2 clowns shouldn't be in charge they can't be in charge of themselves, let alone a 5 and 7-year-old. So that's the backstory. So I guess this like actually just happened. Let me see. This just happened a week ago. Okay. 3/16/24.
When asked again, she points toward the ocean, but the kids still aren't there.
Hey,
Where are
your
your
kids?
Right there.
Meanwhile, Stevens is already standing and stumbling in place.
Here and here.
Then the search for the IDs continues.
Where's your ID? I don't have mine.
Send them all over.
So give him your ID. That's what he wants your ID.
You know it's bad when your man starts looking in your purse. Like my husband never looks in my purse, but you're in trouble when your man has to start helping you because you better get that information quick, fast, in a hurry, right?
Are they right here? What's in here?
Bitch, don't kick my bag. Right?
Hey, where are they? Where are they?
Go get the kids. I got this. I'll do it. You go.
That's when a sheriff's deputy walks off with Stevens looking for the kids.
I'll go with him. Tell me where your kids are.
I wonder, are those his kids? They says it's his kids, but I don't know.
Stevens knows the kids' ages, but isn't quite sure where they are.
How old are they?
7 and 8.
7 and 8. It says 5 and 7.
Boy and a girl?
Boy and a girl.
Okay, you don't know where they are?
Right at the beach.
we know, Stevens is in handcuffs as deputies explain why he's being detained.
Yeah, me and everything else on the beach. She passed out. You're supposed to be watching under the clothes. So, put it on speaker. Put the phone up there.
I'm trying.
Even while he's cuffed, Stevens somehow manages to remove a cigarette from its pack and put it into his mouth.
What happened to your hand? It's work. Work?
It's not a cigarette, it's a vape, but okay.
Yeah. Somebody
Yeah, they were 5 and 7.
It's not very nice. I don't care.
Up next, it's Langley's turn to be handcuffed.
Look at the lady sitting over by the side, like, girl, me, I'm the girl. I would have just been standing there, like, what's gonna happen now? That lady's sitting over there, like, trying to pretend like this whole thing is not happening, and it's actually happening. Look at the lady sitting over there. Look, girl, I would have been all up in the Kool-Aid asking, just guys, how far do you think the kids got down the beach? Do you think they were at the pool right there? They said they were at a hotel pool nearby. How do you think they were at the hotel that they were staying at? Or do you think they managed to go to a different? I guess the funny thing would be, which not funny, but they were safe. They were having a good time. I would imagine, but it's still not safe for kids that little to be off by themselves. We don't even know if they were at the proper hotel or anything. Those kids could have been snatched and been gone in 50 seconds. Y'all not ready for this question, but was this the test run? It's not if, it's now, it's when now. Talking about the bridge. Girl, that I don't know. Yeah. No. Mm-mm. Jen's always got the provocative questions in the comments. I'm like, here comes Jen. Jen always got a good question. Jen, we just have to pray. Some people, look, we just have to think positive. I'm gonna say it like that. We have to think positive. And, as a country, I feel like we're for, look, everyone, look, I'm not going to say too much. I don't like to get political. All I got to say is we have to think positive and keep our safety in your prayers. Like, as you're blessing and covering your home, your family, your home, and all the people that you love, think about your neighbor and think about where you live and that it stays safe, because there's a lot of bad out here, and we all know it. So yeah, I got your question. It's something to think about. And I'm sure that the people who are getting paid a lot of money at this moment are thinking about it. And that's what we put them in those positions for. So hopefully, and if someone out here has a great idea on how to make that even better, well then they need to speak up. All right, let's keep going. But great question. Thanks for putting it out there. It's something to chew on. None of us are going to come up with a solution for that this morning. But it's definitely something, it's a takeaway, because this is, if anything, this live today, and I'm so sorry if this field makes anyone feel traumatized or triggered, but this is what's going on right now. Like, like I said, I got up today and I had no choice but to come to you with these topics today, because this is what the hell this was what was in my damn timeline. I couldn't get away from it. And it just was in my heart that that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. So
up next, it's Langley's turn to be handcuffed. During all this, she's on the phone with her grandfather, saying he needs to come pick up the kids.
Come get the kids. Me and Timothy are both being arrested.
Deputies again explain why they're being arrested.
Is somebody able to come get the kids?
Come get the kids.
Why am I being arrested?
Are both being arrested.
Alcohol on the beach and child neglect.
At this point, Stevens doesn't seem to understand that all alcohol is illegal on the beach, even the 2 beers he drank.
So we're not allowed to have any beer at the beach?
Huh? It's illegal to have alcohol on the beach.
Is it?
Yes.
I thought it was not glass.
Nope, glass is not allowed, but neither is alcohol. Because what happens is people get drunk and then they drown in the ocean.
I only had like 2 beers.
So you just admitted if they hadn't given you a breathalyzer, they would be hard pressed to prove if you were drunk or not at the time. But you just did their job by admitting to consuming alcohol on the beach.
2 is still illegal.
Langley then begins
Her
swearing.
bottoms look like a pad.
No, the f***ing cops here are kids. This lady is the only f***ing person that's been nice. Him, everybody else has been f***ing kids. So now we both go to
So she's so confrontational. Look at her. She's so angry. Sis, you're so mad.
jail.
And the pair soon come to the realization they might not get out on bond.
Who the f*** is gonna bond us out?
No one.
Your kids could have been halfway to Timbuktu. Your kids could have been on a plane trafficked by now. They still don't know. At this point, they still don't even know where their kids are.
Exactly.
Girl, are you trying to shade Myrtle Beach? She said, where is this? South Carolina? This is so giving Myrtle Beach. Okay. This is so giving damn incident at Myrtle Beach. But no, hun, this is Daytona, boo-boo. I'm not trying to get on Daytona because this happens all up and down the East Coast, but damn it, this is giving a little bit of Myrtle Beach though, right, Aquarius Rain?
Then argues with first responders, saying she doesn't trust them and wants to make sure her kids are safe.
No, my grandpa has to drive in 8 hours to get the kids.
Oh, he's driving 8 hours to come get the kids, so they're not in town with family, so they're 8 hours away. The kids could have drowned. The kids could have been kidnapped. Fortunately, spoiler alert, for those of you just coming in, the kids were found at a nearby hotel. According to, this is a Georgia couple. Okay, so excuse me. This is a Georgia couple. 27-year-old Alicia Langley and her fiance, Timothy Stevens, on Saturday afternoon when they were abruptly woken up. I'm going to fast forward down to the bottom. It boggles my mind. This is what the sheriff is saying, that you would arrive here and get obliterated and, allow a 5 and a 7-year-old to wander off, expressed the sheriff. Deputies located the couple's 2 children swimming unsupervised in a pool at a nearby hotel. Okay. Watch the shenanigans next, and then let y'all
listen to
go.
what my grandpa has to say. I want to make sure my kids
Hey,
are taken
Shaz.
care of.
Welcome.
I'm sorry,
Shaz.
I trust him and him. I don't trust them. No.
In the truck. She said in the truck.
Myrtle would never. I've seen some drunk people at Myrtle Beach. We go to Myrtle Beach twice a year. Girl, are those fentanyl tattoos? Are they? Girl. Anything could have happened. They could have just wandered into the street, got hit by a car. They could be this is a catastrophe.
Roll down the window.
I want to make sure my kids are.
We're gonna make sure they're taken care of.
Okay, so tell them to come over here and let me listen to what my grandpa's saying.
He's writing down a message right now.
And I can't hear nothing.
In the truck.
I'm telling you to get in the truck, and I'd like you to get in yourself. And so
I want to make sure my kids are.
If you wanted to know your kids were okay, then you wouldn't have drank to the point that you passed out, fell asleep, passed out, and were in another dimension on the beach. And your kids are trying to have a good time, and they had to go see about it for themselves and go find a damn pool. Are you kidding me? Yes.
Take care of them. They'll feed them. They'll clothe them. And they'll be comfortably waiting until
They'll be comfortably at the foster care. She said, I fucking hate you. Why is she so mad? And that's your fiance and your baby father?
They're going to take care of them.
Look at her face. Look at her talking to him.
Waiting until the father or grandfather arrives.
She looks like a bitch. Okay. This guy, it's better it happened now. These two need to separate. If we were going to have a session of should they stay together or nah, this is a big nah. These two need to break up. These two are very irresponsible with each other. And also your kids are getting ready to go to CPS. Now she's worried about the kids.
During all this,
Look,
Stevens
he
decides
takes
it's
off,
the
you
prime
guys.
time to make a break for it. But as expected, he's tackled to the ground.
My kids.
We're gonna make sure they're taken care of.
Okay, so tell them to come over here and let me listen to what my grandpa's saying.
He's writing down a message right now.
And I can't hear nothing.
In the truck.
I'm telling you to get in the truck, and I'd like you to get in yourself. And so
I want to make sure my
I can
kids
tell you
are
to work
okay.
with you this whole time. And
Oh, where are my kids gonna go?
going to the Family Resource Center. So they're gonna take care of them. They'll feed them. They'll clothe them, and they'll be comfortably waiting until your was it father or grandfather arrives. Okay.
When did he decide in the middle of her like cursing him out? Did he think that it was a good idea for him to try to run? Okay, let's see this one more time. So she's giving him the evil, fake outrage, you piece of shit look. And she's cussing him out. She's getting ready to go into custody. And here he goes. He's looking off into the distance, and he's thinking, "Oh shit, time to
Stevens
go."
decides it's the prime time to make a break for it.
And falls. Oh my god!
But as expected, he's.
What did the sheriff say?
Stupid.
But as.
Stupid.
But as.
Why did the sheriff call him stupid? Oh my god!
Stupid.
But as expected, he's tackled to the ground.
I'm dead, guys.
Call an ambulance, please.
Call. Now he needs an ambulance.
Hey.
Oh shit! And there's blood. Did you see it? He probably broke his nose. Hold on. That's some hard ass sand. Damn.
Call an ambulance, please. Hey.
Look. You see that? The blood right here. You can't see. There's blood right there. He's bleeding out of his nose.
Call Guardian.
There's his vape
Hey,
right there.
wake up.
See his vape? He had to have that damn. It's probably a Delta 9 pen or something. Woo.
Call Guardian. Hey, wake up. Wake up.
Also in Florida, a motorcyclist speeds off from sheriff's deputy.
Okay, we're not going to do this one. I watched this. This guy went on a chase. Let me see if they mention anything about the Florida couple.
From the body cameras we cover, it's not always safe out there. And when you're hurt, it can be pretty confusing and even scary if you don't know where to turn. Well, Morgan & Morgan is the largest injury law firm in America.
Okay, hold on.
Ma'am, alive. It happened on March 17th in Hillsborough County, Florida. Body camera video shows a sheriff's deputy approach a vehicle where a woman is slumped over in the front seat. Ma'am.
Can y'all look at this? Sis was out here in her green. It was St. Patrick's Day weekend. And ma'am was slumped over in her car.
Sheriff's office. The woman, later identified as Keonta Carter, doesn't reply when the deputy opens the door. Ma'am. Hey. The first responder
She just drank and was like, you know what? I'll just take a nap here and then I'll just drive home the rest of the way after my nap.
calls for Carter to get out of her vehicle.
Get out of the vehicle. Ma'am, share something.
No, not that she's listening to I like the way you move. Dun, dun. I like the way you move. Listen to the song.
Ma'am.
The next clip we see of Carter finds her slumped over outside the car as the deputy assures her she's okay.
You're okay.
I would have been like, I didn't take my medication.
Come on. Hold on. Okay.
But then Carter tries to walk off toward traffic before finding safety on the side of a squad car.
No. Don't walk there. Don't walk there. Okay. Walk over here. Stop right there. Lean on my vehicle right here. You see that tire? Lean on the tire. Nice and warm.
When she's asked where she is, Carter has a peculiar
Oh God, not on her t-shirt says Irish extra large drinking team.
answer.
That's probably not a good t-shirt to have on. When you're
she's asked where
potentially
she
suspect
is,
of drunk
Carter has
driving.
a
Irish drinking team. Sis, what?
peculiar answer.
What roadway are you on?
The brown one.
Where is it?
They said, what road are you on? She said the brown one.
The brown one.
The brown one?
Yes.
The roadway. What town do you think you're in right now? What city?
I couldn't tell you. I don't know.
And she doesn't know where she came from either.
Where are you coming from?
I couldn't tell you.
You don't remember where you're driving from?
No.
But at least Carter is honest about how much she's been drinking.
How much have you had to drink tonight, ma'am?
A lot.
Next.
Oh my God.
Carter fails her field sobriety tests.
6 minutes off.
Jesus.
7 minutes off. 8 minutes. 9 minutes off. Improper. 1 minute off. 2 minutes off. 3 minutes off.
And then she's arrested.
There you go. You're being arrested for DUI.
Carter was booked on a DUI charge, but later released on $500 bond. Reporting for law and crime.
Y'all, we had to end on a happy note because the first hour is damn right sad. There's too much going on out here. Anyway, guys, we had to talk about it. I hope you guys have a good day. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. But we might, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we had to talk about it, guys. You know what I'm saying? We cannot pretend like some of these mommies are big news because they're not. Okay. But I hope that some of the mommies who like to be in the bushes and watch my news will understand you don't want to be on my news. Okay. You don't want to be on my news program early in the morning. Okay. You don't. Kasanya Kardashian. Okay. What else did I want to say? Those of you guys, so I need to check into family court and see if we're going to be able to watch live Judge Manning's court proceedings. That's one thing I need to check on. Judge Manning is typically on YouTube, but I don't know if she shows everything, so I need to check and see if we're going to be able to catch that on April 12th, because a YouTube sis is going back to court on some foolishness. To me, if you're about that life and you were really scared, you just showed up to court on time like everybody else who did, but that's just my opinion. But yeah, guys, pray for the people, pray positive thoughts, whatever you do to be able to uplift someone, the city, people who lost folk abruptly last night at 1:30 when that barge hit the bridge. Send it their way, because the people in that region right now need a lot of prayer and positivity and uplifting. because they've got a long road ahead of them. They've got a lot of bad news that they're going to be watching. There's going to be, there's just going to be a lot going on. So pray for those people. Keep them in your positive thoughts. If you're a praying person, send them some prayer. If it's positivity, well wishes, best wishes, love and light, all of those things, just send it in their way, because you could be traveling on a bridge. You could be a traveler. You could be going from one place to another and have the unfortunate luck of being somewhere where something is happening. So we don't even know that these were all people from that city. There were construction workers. They were working on some technology. I told you my husband is an electrician. He works DOT. They work on the roads, the highways, the bridges, all of those things. It's very scary. And normally he's working during the day, but sometimes they have to do a lane closure or a road closure at night to get something done that they cannot do during the day. And there were nighttime workers out there. So it was, what I mean? It wasn't just commuters. It wasn't just people coming from the club or a bar, people coming from work, people traveling in the area. There's any number of reasons. And regardless of that fact, they're preparing for mass casualties. So send that region, the city, some love if you can, and because they really really need it. And Ruby Franke, I hope that all of her days in jail are miserable. I hope that she gets to experience even just a little bit of the I hope she gets to experience just a little bit of the trauma that she caused for the children who were in confinement, who didn't have enough food, who didn't get enough love, and all of those things. I hope that she gets to feel and experience that. And lastly, Diddy, they are looking for you, sir. So we'll continue the Diddy coverage. We'll talk about some of the Diddy coverage, and we might talk about the Ruby Franke phone call to her husband. It's like a series of phone calls, and that's right up our alley. So anybody who wants to listen to that, let me know over on Real Talk Bougie. But we will continue the Diddy coverage over there. And you guys have a wonderful day. Love Lies and Lace Fronts, where we do reactions, reviews, and commentary. I'm gonna let you guys go. You guys are amazing. I really enjoyed our chat today. Um, and I hope that you guys have a wonderful day, guys. You know, I feel so bad. I mean, we're so lucky, right? If you got to listen to this today, you're somewhere in this number or on the replay. Make sure to tap in for me, hit the like button. I appreciate that. Lets the wonderful algorithm know that, that there is something going on here, and it will put me out into the recommended for other people to find me too. So I appreciate you guys tapping on that like button. And if you are so compelled to share, please do so. Do so. Yeah, I want to listen to those. I started listening to them. I got in about 5 minutes in, and I was thinking, well, I should be listening to this with the Bougie Gang over on Real Talk. If you guys want to listen, then come on over, and we'll do that now. That way at 12, I don't know if there's any Nesto that we need to talk about, but we'll do that then. But we might just listen to the Ruby Franke call and see, girl, what in the hell are you talking about to Mr. Franke? Mr. Franke seemed like he was done. Okay. I think he's filed for divorce because he's hoping, well, he's not dating. I didn't mean to put that one up, but I think he's hoping to be able to get his kids back. But honestly, I think they're going to have to do some studies to make sure that he was not part of the shenanigans, because those kids have suffered enough trauma and they don't need to be put back, even though I'm sure maybe he'll be able to visit and stuff. But right now, it might just be too much. These kids have been through a lot. These kids have been through way too much. Mom is gone. Dad might need to just I don't know. We don't know what he was part of. And I definitely would not blame CPS for taking their time, or the government, whoever makes those decisions. before letting them integrate the father back in. They need to make sure daddy is got his head on straight. So thank you, India. You're so sweet. It's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. Whew. My heart goes out to all of those people. I cannot even imagine the trauma. I cannot imagine. Call the gumball machine certified attorney at law, aka Sonia. What? I cannot even imagine, you guys. The as the bridge was collapsing, like the poor people, the people who were horrific. He said he only paid bills. Well, before he walked away, because he had left the home, right? So he was paying bills, but I mean, this has got to be a long. Are they saying that maybe the abuse started after she left the home or after he left the home or something? Whew. Anyway, guys, we'll get into it. We'll get into it over at Real Talk. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for the super stickers. You guys are amazing. Jen always has the great questions. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Nina. I appreciate y'all so much. Members, mods, all of my subscribers, you guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. All right, guys, take care. Have a wonderful day. And I'll see you guys soon, okay? Bye, guys.
Took everything, ain't nothing left. Count your blessings, count your steps. At your throat like we that strap. It's way too cold under the flesh. All we ball, but we don't mesh.